What is up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of the SoBackSports podcast. And today we are here with a special guest. Today, if you don't mind, would you like to introduce yourself?
Yeah, my name is Ryan or Woody. Doesn't really matter which one you call me. I go by WoodyRYW on every social media platform, most notably TikTok. I'm a writer for Chicago Sports Nation, and that's about it, man.
Yeah, I
Bears
mean,
football.
yeah, of course. I would assume that you're also an avid Bears fan as well.
Yeah.
Especially with their lives as well. All the links will be in the description as well in the channel. Go check him out. His content is great. I really enjoy it, and I'm really glad to have you on the pod today. It feels a little surreal too because it's I watch your content and now you're on my podcast now, so it's kind of cool.
Oh, you're
Um,
too nice. You're too nice.
Thank you. But yeah, I just wanted to kind of like get to know you a little bit more on the side before we start talking about the rest of the stuff that we have to talk about, which something in Green Bay. But yeah, just take me through your like journey when it comes to social media because you're really like relatively big on TikTok. You're have a lot of great takes as well. I just want to know your story pretty much.
Well, I started streaming video games back in high school. Started streaming on Twitch and stuff like that. And the main reason why I started that at the time was just because growing up, my dad was friends with Terry Bors, who was longtime host with Bernstein on 670 The Score,
So,
and so
mhm.
I thought this like being a host on 670 Score was like the greatest job you could ever have. I always wanted to do it. And so originally I started streaming to get experience talking on a live stream or whatever. And I already played video games a bunch and I was kind of good at it. So I was like, yeah, screw it. Why not try it out? And so for 4 or 5 years, did a lot of video game streaming. Still post on TikTok and stuff like that, but it was mainly video game content. And then I moved out to Arizona a few years ago, kind of strayed away from video game stuff because just didn't really care to play certain games out anymore. Um, Started posting Bears and football stuff on TikTok, mostly complaining about the Chiefs half the time. Those were those were videos that were very popular.
Yeah.
And got the position writing for Chicago Sports Nation. All I did was I literally just like mocked up an article that I would write, sent it in, and they liked it, and so I started there. And been doing that ever since. I mean, I've been talking sports and tweeting, opinions and whatnot for as long as I can remember. But that's basically my content journey, really.
Oh yeah, I mean that's pretty cool actually. I didn't know like that's a really cool thing to have some connection to 670 the score and just bears in general. That kind of was a really cool outlet honestly. And um a bit more about your shit like the what is that thing called? The Bears Nation was what's
Chicago
the
Sports Nation, yeah.
Chicago Sports Nation. Sorry about that.
Oh, here
Um
you go.
but yeah, that's cool because from a perspective of someone that just started a couple years ago, I started kind of in the same thing, where it was like I really love talking sports. Ad nauseum I would be talking with my friends,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
my friends would notice me as like the it's like what's today's takes today, or what's today's like Bears news, like they would come to me for that. And at some point I was like, you know what? I kind of want to, take this, content seriously, or like, try this out. And it turns out like a couple of years later, I think this is my second season that I'm going to be covering the Chicago Bears like on my channel. So I'm really looking forward to that a lot. And, you know, from where I started, I felt like the more exposure, like you said, the more you learn to talk and, be in front of a mic and all that, like it really did help. And
Oh, yeah,
re-
yeah.
yeah.
The only you just have to do it
Oh
in
yeah.
in practice. So that's really all you can do.
Yeah, 100%. And that's, why I mean, it ends up me creating a podcast last year, like out of the blue with my brother. I'm like, hey, we should like do like a weekly or like a bi-weekly, not bi-weekly, uh, multiple times a week thing with the podcast. And Yeah, I mean, it's kind of cool to see your journey and that as well. And at some point, I also kind of aspire to down the line, expand in terms of like sports content creation and stuff like that. So
Oh,
really cool.
absolutely, yeah.
But yeah, now let's talk about football. Because oh boy, did we get some news that I really just did not hope to come to life. I'm actually gonna be real. Like the amount of times I was like, I want to be honest. I'll say I was 60% like this was not gonna happen, and then the 40% was like,
Yeah, I actually I didn't think he'd be traded at all.
I didn't either.
I didn't think so.
I swear it was gonna be like, like we saw this first. It was Max Crosby demanded a trade, and as soon as he saw the money, caved.
Yep.
Miles Garrett saw the money, caved. TJ Watt as well saw the money, caved. So you would think that Micah Parsons and even Trey Hendrickson, like obviously not the same scenario, but
I'd be a little upset if I was Trey Hendrickson right now, man.
yeah, like
I mean, he got a raise,
yeah,
but because I think he got like a $14 million raise to the. I mean, he's gonna be a free agent next year. Right?
yeah,
He gets $30 million. I'd be kind of sitting there seeing him get, Micah Parsons get 47.
oh yeah, like
That's yeah.
oh man, it's just like, and of all the teams, like that's what I was telling my Packers friend as well. Like of all the teams, like the to all the players to go to the. I can't even perform a sentence thinking about this because it was like, of course, it was the Cowboys deciding to give our biggest rival their best edge rusher or linebacker. To, and it's it. You know what? Enough of me rambling. Let's take you to your thoughts as well for this because
I was
man,
probably in the minority for multiple weeks now. Like when people would throw out the idea on Twitter of the Bears trading for Micah Parsons, I didn't want to.
mm-hmm.
I didn't think the Bears should trade for Michael Parsons. Also, on top of it, I didn't think they possibly could. Because one, I thought the price was going to be too high. What surprised me about the trade was the price. I assumed it was going to be, if it was only going to be 2 first-round picks, probably add in 2 seconds or, a recent high draft pick, couple players like that. If not 3 firsts. The price only being 2 firsts and Kenny Clark, who's 30, declining. Yes, was a Pro Bowler, but he had like a single sack last year, probably his worst year of his career.
Mm-hmm.
That surprised me. And with the Bears, like, with their cap situation, you would have had to have the Cowboys take on some type of big contract, whether it was, Montez Sweat or Tremaine Edmonds or cap-wise, you would have had to dump something in order for it to make it work because you would have signed that extension as well. And on top of that, I just don't believe that you can win a Super Bowl if you have a player that is not a quarterback taking up $50 million of your cap. I just don't think that's possible. Like Myles Garrett and TJ Watt taking up, I mean, I know Myles Garrett's like 40 million. I think TJ Watt is
something like that. Yeah. It just keeps increasing at this point. Yeah.
Like, I mean, both Cleveland and Pittsburgh, the main reason why they have sucked for multiple years now is because they can't get the quarterback right. And they're still trying to do that. And Myles Garrett and TJ Watt really haven't made much of a difference. Yes, they're great players, but ultimately you have to have the quarterback right in the first place more than anything. And so like $47 million a year, that is just bonkers to me. And I didn't want the Bears to trade for Parsons in the first place. The Packers doing it, again, the price is what kills me. Because, like, if you would have told me it was only going to take 2 firsts and, the Bears equivalent, like, Dio or something. Like,
give him a contract just to give away.
I don't even, if it was only going to be that much to get him, I probably would have had a conversation. Probably would have discussed that a bit further. But I'm not like, I'm not a fan of that kind of move anyway.
Mm-hmm.
I was excited at the time when the Bears did it with Khalil Mack, but I think we can see where that takes you.
Oh
What
yeah.
road that takes you down. And the Packers are going to be in the same situation where they're going to have to win in the next year or two. And honestly, them having Micah Parsons doesn't really change my opinion on them as a team because it all rests on what Jordan Love is and Matt
Mm-hmm.
LaFleur as a coach. Micah Parsons really doesn't move that needle very much for me, which I know is kind of wild to say, but
Mm-hmm.
ultimately it's the quarterback, and they're paying Jordan Love $55 million a year,
Oh yeah.
which is hilarious. So.
Yeah, it's genuinely like astounding that their payroll for the next couple of years now is going to be for two players. It's worth 50 million per
100
player.
million cap.
100 million just off of that, and they still have like question marks when it comes to like obviously they drafted Matthew Golden this year. That's fine, but I'm talking about for the perspective of wide receiver depth. You have to have decent wide receiver depth too.
Yeah.
Like that's also important when it comes to an offense. Like you can't rely on like one wide receiver one and a bunch of wide receiver threes. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
and I also agree with your point as well. But I do still see this Parsons move like as something that's going to be a hindrance to the NFC North, and that's just me because I think this is a really good move for them. They're not necessarily like they didn't give an insane haul to get him either. It's just only 2 first-round picks and Kenny Clark. Like
Yeah.
that to me, like you said, is insane. Insane like fleece
And there's
in my
also
eyes.
like there's also the mental side of it where it's like, it definitely affects just the energy in the locker room when your team makes a move like that. Very similar in baseball, like the Cubs struggled so badly post deadline, and I guarantee you a big part of it was because they probably sat there in the locker room and you're like, we didn't do we did nothing. I don't know if I can
Yeah,
curse or not.
don't get me started. The Cubs.
But
I'm like,
like
oh my
they
god.
did absolutely nothing.
Yeah.
And you go back to something like 2016 where you get Aroldis Chapman, that energizes guys.
Yeah.
Not only are you getting a good player, but it also sends a message to your locker room that you actually care and you're trying to win. And so obviously the Packers are going to be, energized with that. Coaching staff's going to be excited. All of them are going to be excited. But again, it just doesn't move the needle much for me. It really doesn't. I don't know.
I mean, yeah. I see what you mean in terms of like moving the new because at the end of the day, with how balanced the whole NFC North is, I would say because it's now becoming even more of a gauntlet now, no matter who you face in the NFC North, because you have high value players on either side of the ball. And with the addition of Ben Johnson for the Chicago Bears, like, yeah, we don't have on the other side of Montez Sweat another edge rusher, but you can definitely rely on the fact that we have a great coaching staff now, or at least a competent one, because that was what costed us a lot of games last year. And that's honestly what at least will still keep us competitive this season and gives us a relatively good chance, a fighting chance against teams like the Vikings, against teams like the Detroit Lions. And that kind of leads into my next question. Before we talk about, Jerry Jones and all that, like, how does this affect the Bears' plan going forward? Because there's been talks about, us like, yes, Austin Booker is now on IR. Do we go out and get like a Zadarius Smith or a Jadeveon Clowney off of, you know, the streets pretty much at this point? Because like, what are your thoughts on that?
No, I don't think they
No,
do anything, to be
no.
honest with you.
I mean,
At most, they probably make a, very borderline waiver pickup for depth. I'm not even sure, you could throw around whatever kind of names. It doesn't really matter. It's not going to be anybody of, real significance. And the main reason is because they already spent the money. They're not going to, like, they already spent money on Dio, Grady Jarrett, draft pick in Turner. They already have these investments. They're not going to make any move before this money plays a single game. Right, Ryan Poles just isn't going to do that. Unless it becomes like a very, very low cost investment, and if Zadarius Smith is willing to take just like a couple of mil or something, like it's going to be very, very minimal, if anything. And I probably would say nothing at all.
Yeah, I see what you mean, because it's like, actually, that is a really good point, because it's like we already paid so much for the the D line, and at least Dio specifically, and they have a lot to prove, especially with the season, and with going to the preseason, how Dio, he was okay. It wasn't anything like super.
I think okay is being nice.
Yeah, I'm being really nice, right? I'm being really nice.
It's probably being nice.
But for the contract that we get, we have to see a lot more from him, and a lot more from
they're
this
not going to do anything until they have a chance to do that.
Oh yeah,
I know that the Bears have an early bye week. Pretty sure
week 5, like last year.
Yeah, week 5. And so like, I wouldn't be shocked if by the bye week, or especially up into the deadline, they make some type of edge move. I don't know if it'll be like at the deadline, like a Montez Sweat type of edge move, but they're going to give them the first 4 weeks of the season or so to see what they can do, because they spend too much money to just try and make a change before a real game is played.
Oh yeah. But actually, a quick question. Actually, going on to follow up. What was your thoughts on us getting Dio Odeyingbo? Because I think it's that
was easily the worst signing of the offseason.
Yeah.
At the time, I was very confused. One, like, a huge pet peeve of mine, not only with Ryan Poles, but just a lot of sports in general and the way people think, is caring so much about the physical and intangibles and attributes and the physical potential of a player, instead of just getting a guy that produces.
Right.
Sometimes the best athletes are not the ones that actually produce the most. Tom Brady's an awful athlete.
Yeah.
Like, genuinely.
Yeah.
He's not athletic, really, in any way. And yet he's the GOAT. There are plenty of guys like that. And there are also guys like Anthony Richardson, who has all the physical talent in the world and is genuinely awful. Like the constant like philosophy of we're gonna unlock this guy's potential is infuriating. Absolutely infuriating. Like Karan Amagaji being a 3rd round pick from Yale.
Oof. Yeah.
Oh, he has all the strength and frame and all. I don't care. He was blocking against janitors in the Ivy League. I do not care. And when people would talk like Will Campbell is, he went to the Patriots at 4, right? 4th pick overall.
Yeah.
And people are, he's not a tackle. He's a guard. He's got too short of arms. Dude, he didn't give up a sack for 2 years playing left tackle at LSU. I don't care.
Exactly.
Some guys just perform. And at the end of the day, I'm okay. Like, if you want to go out and pay a guy that's done it, regardless of whatever that, I'm good with that. Giving a guy in year 5 that you're like, oh, he'll figure it out now. It was absolutely insane to me. It felt like a signing that was spending money just to spend money because you had it. And, what else can you say? I mean, yes, in theory, Montez Sweat should have much more of an opportunity to be productive, especially because the Bears should be able to get more interior pressure with Dexter, Jarrett, Turner, Billings. The interior should be able to create more pressure, which in theory would give more opportunities for Montez Sweat and Dio to have one-on-ones. And obviously more one-on-ones gives you more opportunities to get sacks and get pressures.
Right.
So that should happen. But I'm not confident, man. I'm really not confident.
Yeah, I mean, I think you kind of nailed it, because that's what kind of my reaction when I first saw it. Because actually, my first reaction was, why another Colts player? Like you know what I mean? Like if it's not Jonathan Taylor, if it's not like what was that guy's name? That's really good. Quentin Nelson or like
Oh,
anyone
I
like.
love Quentin Nelson.
Yeah,
Yeah,
if it's not anyone,
dog.
I don't care. I do not care. Stop taking players from the Colts. We took Matt
Yeah.
Eberflus from the Colts, and look how that turned out for us. Like that was my first reaction when I saw it, and then I was like, then obviously when time goes on and you start to warm up to the play, I'm like, he could maybe work out, right? Like,
Yeah,
and
but
then
here's the thing. You don't take
yeah,
a maybe could work out for what?
yeah,
How much is he getting paid? 15?
15
15 a
something.
year?
Yeah,
It was 3 years, 45, right?
yeah.
If I remember correctly.
Oh man, I forgot the
Or am I
contract
thinking of
already.
a different contract?
It was something in
It's
the
somewhere in that ballpark
50s.
though.
Yeah, but it was kind of crazy. Like I remember I'm like, how much are we paying this dude? Like,
Yeah. I'm sure most people's reactions at the time was, "Who?"
yeah, who? like I didn't know that player existed until like even in Madden, I probably never seen that guy. I was like,
Yeah.
like
Well, if you're curious, I'm pretty sure his Madden 26 overall is 73. Not that
50
Madden
mil.
ratings, obviously. We know how Madden ratings go.
Hey, I
but
mean,
just,
hey, Woody, listen,
for fun context.
listen, Woody Johnson would his son knows very well about that, and he will. That's how the Jets make their operations, really. So,
True.
like,
True.
yeah, I just think that yeah, I'm kind of in the same boat. I feel very indifferent to this at this point. I just need to see how it plays out on the field because that's the only way your money is worth it, and we can only trust Dennis Allen to do so much for bringing out the
I will
best.
say that I really like Dennis Allen.
Yeah.
And he has a long history of being able to, manufacture pressure just schematically, regardless of personnel.
Exactly.
He's incredibly aggressive, which I'm very excited to see that. I'm so sick of watching the Tampa 2.
Yes.
I'm so sick of watching just giving 5-10 yard completions,
Exactly.
waiting to get into the red zone. Like, yeah, a good amount of the time, the Bears would keep him out of the red zone or keep him out of the end zone. That's great. Not giving up touchdowns is great. But the problem that and we saw that last year, is the problem that you have with a Tampa 2 type defense, especially when your offense is struggling, when you are consistently, like, you are giving the opponent a long drive, right? You are forcing them to sustain drives. They're going to be out there for multiple minutes, just a given. They're not going to force a 3 and out. And so when you stack that up on top of an offense that will have stretches of just 3 and out, 3 and out, 3 and out, and the defense continuously has to go back on the field, and then they're doing all right, keep everything in front of you, let these guys take their 5-yard completions, eventually we'll stop them, hold them to the field goal. That's all fine and dandy, but you do that 10 games into the season, and you're spending 50 freaking minutes on the field every game, you're gonna get gassed, which is exactly what would happen. And so I'm just excited to watch a defense that's more aggressive, will actually force 3 and outs. Sure, there'll probably be big play given up here and there. That's just the reality of running that kind of defense. But I much rather, at least in terms of just a product, it'll be more fun to watch.
Right.
And I also think it'll be more successful too.
Oh yeah, 100%. Like that's the thing about Flus's defense because he was the one that was calling the defensive plays as well, while also quote unquote managing as a head coach. Like, I mean, either way,
He was managing something.
he was, managing the nicknames. That's for sure. But it was so infuriating to watch because, like you said, the more we play off the ball and not be aggressive, the more we let running backs slip through and they could just do a toss play and get a good 5 to 10 yards, maybe even get a first down. The amount of times we saw, it was 3rd and like 20 or 3rd and like long essentially, and we had them dead to rights. All they had to do, because we played so much prevent defense and playing on the line, the first down marker, is they just realized that and they're like, okay.
I know everyone, the free like 15 yards that he gave to Washington before the Hail Mary is the one everyone thinks of, but the one that sticks in my mind is I can't remember the exact yardage, but the game that we lost to Minnesota in OT, the 3rd and 17 or 3rd and 18 that the Bears gave up down the stretch that allowed the Vikings to
Get into
essentially
field
win
goal.
the game
Yeah.
in the first place, or force overtime at that point. Or no, it wasn't force overtime because the Bears forced overtime. It was they took the lead or something like that. But I
Yeah.
forget exactly what the game situation was. But the Minnesota had like a 3rd and 18 late in the fourth quarter, and that was the conversion that broke the camel's back. And there was another one on a long list of just way too conservative, way too like when you give guys in this league consistency of space to allow them to make a guy's miss, you're gonna miss tackles.
Mm-hmm.
It's just gonna happen. You're not gonna have 100% tackle rate, and that's kind of like what a Tampa 2 expects you to have, and that's just absurd.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Like watching the defense last year, it was just so passive too, and it was like, yeah, in the beginning they'll start off hot a little bit here and there. They'll get like, Flus will drop some plays, but it was just like a constant, like you're shooting yourself in the foot so many times, and it was also due in part to the fact that the defense was also gassed too. Like
And also, I mean, it got to a point where they didn't give a crap.
No, yeah, they honestly, I don't blame them whatsoever.
No, don't blame either.
Yeah, I'm just glad at the end they, somehow found a way to end the year off on a high note. With all this turmoil and stuff that was brewing within this organization. But yeah, I mean, I'm just glad we have a a defense that's run by someone that's actually competent now, or at least has a track record of having great defenses in Dennis Allen. And yeah, I just love the staff that Ben Johnson put together. And that kind of leads me to the next topic of hand is, the overall expectations of the season and Ben Johnson himself. And we'll move on to Caleb later. But just give me your thoughts right now on like with the preseason, with the press conferences and the various games that we saw under the Ben Johnson era. What is your overall thoughts on that, and what are you looking forward to the most this season with him?
Well, first of all, preseason, I don't care.
Yeah,
preseason means absolutely nothing. People put way too much stock into the results, and like people, and I think it's just because people get excited about football season starting and everything, but people put way too much stock in what happens in the preseason. It does not matter. What I like about Ben Johnson is, especially in his press conferences and whatnot, he is very direct. He gives clear, just answers. He actually answers questions. He doesn't. He's not up there sounding like a politician. Going round and round saying absolutely nothing. And anytime he's asked something, he's actually answering the question. He's very direct. He doesn't sugarcoat things. And on the sideline, when you watch him, I mean, this is something that, this can matter in the preseason, but like he cares. He gets fired up. He gets pissed. And I know that's like a really low bar.
Yeah.
But when we've had Matt Eberflus, and half the time when they'll pan to him on the sideline and Matt Eberflus is just kind of standing there like,
Yeah, literally.
And I'm just tired of it. And so to have a guy that actually gives a crap, gets fired up, gets pissed when things don't go well, answers questions directly afterwards, even when it comes to, criticisms and things that went badly or whatever, blah, blah, blah. Like it is refreshing. And it also kind of gives me Sean Payton vibes in a way. Just the,
mentality of it.
His approach. His approach gives me Sean Payton vibes. And I think that's the one thing that I worried about when hiring Ben Johnson in the first place is obviously you don't know how good of a head coach someone is until they are actually a head coach. No one, was questioning whether he's a good offensive mind or anything like that. That's why he was hired. But whether, you can manage the locker room, lead guys, blah, 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 all the head coaching stuff, you don't know if someone can do it until they actually do it. And so the way that this, training camp is gone, the press conferences, post game stuff over the preseason games, loved it. I've absolutely loved it. I also really like the fact that someone like Walker made the 53-man roster.
Mm-hmm.
And it's only just because in the past couple of years, especially with Matt Eberflus, but even going back to Nagy, it really bothers me when guys that, like, whether they're undrafted free agents or undrafted rookies, or late round picks or whatever, guys that have good camps, maybe they perform in the preseason or whatever, but most importantly, they have a good camp entirely, and they don't get like rewarded for that. They end up getting cut anyway, or their snap count doesn't change. They still are just plateaued, whatever. It doesn't matter. I like it when you actually reward that.
Mm-hmm.
And in the past, they've just cut them anyway. It doesn't really matter how good you do. Clearly, you were behind a wall that you weren't going to get through. It doesn't really matter how good your camp was going to be. And for someone like Walker to actually make the 53-man roster as a 6 wide receiver, given the camp that he had, when no doubt at the start of camp, they did not plan on keeping Walker in the 53-man roster. That was not the plan. I like that. I like, rewarding undrafted, the outside guys that actually have good camps. I like that, culture, I guess, instead of just talking about it and saying you have that culture, but not actually having that culture, which is what we're dealing with the past 3 years.
Right. Like, you make a good point about that Walker, because I was really happy when he actually made it too. And it was a little bit refreshing too, because I was a little bit worried that, like you said, they were just going to cut him because the wide receiver room is just too much depth to it. I mean, if you look at from top to bottom, you have DJ Moore, Luther Burden, Roma Dunze, Devin Duvernay on the special teams. Am I forgetting? I'm forgetting some people right now, but it's like,
well, so the one guy that, like, I guarantee you, if this was Matt Eberflus, Tyler Scott would be on the 53-man roster.
That's him. That's the guy. Yeah, he would be on the roster.
Like, Tyler Scott, it was a 4th round pick in 2023. That is a kind of decision where the simple history of him being a 4th round pick 2 years ago, regardless of Walker having a better camp, Scott would have been on the roster.
Right.
They would have not been willing to cut the 4th round pick 2 years ago for the undrafted dude that had a great camp. They wouldn't have done that. This regime, though, will do that. And good riddance, because Tyler Scott sucks. He sucks. He's sucked for 2 years. It's about time.
Right. Yeah.
So it's stuff like that, though, that reward that.
And that's the thing. Like, I really do appreciate, how cutthroat it is now. Like, it feels like there's like meaning behind each and every move, at least from the perspective of this preseason and going into the 53-man roster cuts. Like, there's a reasoning behind it. And it's not just because we are at like living the sunk cost fallacy of like, oh, we drafted him like in the 4th round. Oh, we drafted him in like the later round, like Zach Pickens, for an example. Like,
oh yeah, it's another guy that Matt Eberflus probably still on the roster.
Yeah, like
otherwise,
the fact that
he's gone, brother.
Exactly, he's gone too, and they're like taking this roster really seriously, at least from the perspective of keeping those who are performing and who are showing the most promise, even, and giving the people like that are on the outskirts of the bubble of making it the 53-man roster a chance as well. And that's, again, something that is really cool to see, because Jade Walker had himself a really good like showing in the preseason. The amount of like crazy plays he made.
Oh yeah.
Albeit against like, 3rd string, 2nd string. It doesn't matter. The fact that he went out there, still showed out, and he's getting rewarded for that to be on the roster is just a great thing to see. And who knows, down the line, he might be a big part of this team if like Ben Johnson sees him as an asset, like alongside with the other wide receivers that we have as well.
I mean, you just have to have like if you want to, preach and try to act like you have a culture of, practicing hard, guys care, whatever, going 100% all the time, you care about the little things or whatever. You have to, like, when you have a culture that rewards that kind of, roster moves where if a guy has a good camp, even though he's undrafted, someone that has seniority, he can, jump a spot. It actually makes practices and individual drills and every single snap meaningful. Like I'm anyone that's played a team sport before, even in, high school, youth or whatever, I'm sure there's been plenty of times where you felt like regardless of what you do, you weren't going to start over the coach's kid.
Yeah.
Or whatever it may be, right? And when that's the case, you're not going to give a crap about whatever drill you're doing because it's not going to matter. You could do it great. You could do it bad. It ain't going to make any difference. And if you actually reward those things, you reward good practice, you reward, going 100% in drills, all of those things, then you put pressure on everybody that's on the roster, everybody that's a starter feels like their job isn't safe or whatever. It forces them to get better. It gives them motivation, whatever you want to call it. That's just a good culture to have instead of, you're the one.
Yeah. Because if you're just get handed things, you're just not going to like, okay, I mean, I don't have to put this much effort into my drills or all that. And speaking of effort, like, we saw that a lot in this camp because, if you like on Twitter, I'm not sure if you saw like the videos that are,
the Miami guy.
Oh, the Miami guy too. But I'm talking about like the individual drills. Oh my God, don't get me started. Yeah. Like with Eric Bieniemy just like yelling at them, it was like music to my ears because the amount of times in the previous years where it would just be like silence. They would just do their drills. So it's like, oh, congratulations, you went over something. And it's like, no, you have to do it properly this time. We can't allow this lack of effort. We have to give 110%. Like, that's something that, what Ben preaches of building a culture, being comfortable, being uncomfortable. Stuff like that is what is showing in these camps. And that will give you, and obviously Bears fans being the most optimistic every preseason, like actual realistic optimism to, see this be on the field. Whether we win or lose, at least the effort will still be there. And yeah, I mean, going back to the Miami first, I'm like,
that Miami guy. Whew.
Wait, who was it? Like, I keep forgetting his name.
I know his first name's Omar.
Omar Kelly.
Yes, Omar Kelly.
That's the guy.
He's a writer for some publication
Miami.
down.
Yeah, I can't believe. Yeah, it was so funny when like Bears Twitter just went after him. It was just
You're
beautiful.
Tackling in practice. How dare you?
It's like, how dare you show any effort,
dude?
Yeah, dude, what?
Like Daniel didn't have any problem with it, so I like clearly that was discussed beforehand.
Right.
And they're like, yeah, we're going to hit in this practice. Okay, cool.
Yeah. I mean, even
Omar
like
Kelly,
one of the,
though,
yeah,
like that.
You can't upset Omar Kelly. You cannot upset him. And like, otherwise it's bad news for you. But no, there was like another player too, that was also like, oh yeah, what are they doing? They're just going too hard in practice. I'm like,
oh yes. There was some player that, yeah, I know you're talking about.
I forget who it was too.
He's on the D line, I think.
Yeah, and I'm just like,
he's on the line. I know.
Yeah,
he's a lineman.
I'm like, then, dude, what are you talking about? Like,
yeah,
I mean,
and that was like 3 days after the fact too.
Yeah, and like,
it wasn't even like directly after the practice or whatever. It was the following week.
Yeah,
and I'm pretty sure he was asked a question like directly about it, and then he was like, "Yeah, dude, the Bears are little bitches," and it's like, what?
Yeah, I don't. Whatever. I mean, whatever. Miami's like cooked anyways. It doesn't even matter. Like,
imagine paying Tua $55 million.
He's like, you thought the Love contract was bad. Jesus Christ.
Seriously.
Like, but yeah,
Can't throw
let's.
10 yards.
Oh yeah, exactly. And not even be able to play in December. Like, come on, man. Like, but going to the last bit of Bears things I wanted to kind of cover before. Actually, no, I lied. Two things to cover. Caleb Williams. What are your expectations for him going into this season? I know you made some content about that too, but I just wanted to get your thoughts on Caleb Williams and going into year 2 and the general thoughts on him.
Yeah, I mean, I know everyone's gonna really be focused on the 4,000 yards, passing yards. Realistically, that should happen. Like that, I'm not saying it has to for it to be successful, but like that should happen. I would say like I would like a jump of like 30 touchdowns would probably be the mark that I would want. He could throw a few more picks. I'd be fine. Like if he threw 10 picks, I'd be fine with that. And that's just because I want him to be more aggressive. And I think Ben Johnson will be more aggressive. So I would say like 30, 10, 4,200 yards, something like that would be in the ballpark that I would like. I'm not concerned about Caleb though. In any way. I everything about last year was terrible. It was like he's the first Bears quarterback to have his head coach ever fired in midseason.
Yeah.
He had, his passing game coordinator eventually became his head coach. He had his head coach like literally sabotage multiple wins throughout the season. I mean, you had the Hail Mary, you have a loss against the Packers because of a blocked field goal, an illegal blocked field goal as well. You have, not
Lions.
calling a timeout on Thanksgiving. You have like you have the stuff with the Vikings giving up third and 18, but the list goes on of I think the most notable thing last year about Caleb, every fourth quarter, he played his best football. Every fourth quarter. When it came down the stretch, pressure moments, whether the Bears, down a couple scores, whatever it may be, like in the fourth quarter, he elevated his play. And that was something that Justin Fields was allergic to. He was like he still is like the worst quarterback in the fourth quarter ever. Like he's genuinely terrible. And Caleb was the opposite of that. And because of that, and what he's had to deal with, turmoil of the team last year, you bring in Ben Johnson, who's made Jared Goff look good, which is incredible. Like I have no doubts about Caleb being good. I'm not worried about it.
Yeah.
What I am worried about is just the difficulty of the division, the difficulty of the NFC in general. I'm concerned about the pass rush. I'm not really that concerned about left tackle as much as people are. I'm really not.
Oh.
Braxton Jones is fine.
Okay.
As long as Braxton Jones is healthy. That's the caveat. If Braxton Jones is healthy, Braxton Jones is fine. Is he great? No. Is he bad? Absolutely not. He is more than capable. If Braxton Jones is your worst player on your offensive line, that is a great offensive line. Okay? He's fine. Now, obviously, we can get into the conversation of, beyond 2025. I have concerns there. But for 2025, Braxton Jones, we're fine.
Okay.
So, Caleb, I'm good. I mean, beyond that, I'm really not so much of the stats as much as just I want competitive football
right
late in the year. That's what I want.
Okay. So that it kind of ends. I was actually going to do a little follow-up question about this, or like a scenario. So would you rather Caleb have, relatively just slightly improved stats, like, I don't know, 3,800 yards, 28 touchdowns, a couple picks, but they make they get like a 10-win season, or would you rather have Caleb get the, like what you said, 4,200, get the critical target stats like 42,000, no, excuse me, 4,200, like couple picks, 10 picks or something like that, that meeting Ben Johnson's 70% completion mark, like hitting all the stats necessary, but they go like 7-10 or 8-9 or something like that due
I'll
to a
always
difficult
take the playoffs. Always.
Take the playoffs. Yeah.
I mean, I think there is a scenario where 10-7 doesn't get you in, similar to last year. But I think
assuming it does.
Yeah, like assuming that 10-7 gets you, I will always take playoffs.
Okay.
Always.
Yeah.
Every time.
I guess we're on the same page then. Yeah. Because at the end of the day, like, you have to also keep in mind, I mean, as Bears fans, like, we really, really want that, like, that annoying stat off our back at this point of like, we're the only franchise without a for 4,000-yard quarterback. And I'm like, sure,
but even
that's
even
completely
beyond
fair.
That, like, you know, obviously, as a fan, I want the team to win, but just even for Caleb, like, winning is good.
Yeah.
Just in general.
Exactly.
Guys that like JJ McCarthy, I don't like. I'm not that, you know. I have no doubts about JJ McCarthy being able to at least match what Sam Darnold did for Minnesota last year. And JJ McCarthy knows how to win. He was with Jim Harbaugh for 4 years or whatever at Michigan. They won a national championship. That stuff matters. Okay, like it. You know, winning is contagious. Winning makes guys play better. Guys playing better makes the guys around them play better. And you could be, you know, Caleb has had all the individual stats in the world. He did it at USC, did it at Oklahoma. The individual stats are great, but you have to learn how to win. Right. And the only way to learn how to win is to actually win. And then adjust over time. But you have to break through that wall. And anytime you have the chance to break through that wall, you do it every time.
Oh yeah, 100%. And I feel like another thing too is we're so worried about chasing that 4,000-yard passer kind of thing at this point that we're forgetting the whole plot of actually winning a football game. Because, you know, you can have like a Dak Prescott, or like you can have all the stats in the world. For an example, Joe Burrow in last year, like, yeah, of course, he had nearly 5,000 yards in passing. He was almost about to be 5,000 yards. But at the same time, like, the wins did not come until it mattered less and less at the end of the season. And I think we're, as a fan base, are trying to chase the wrong things. And while, yes, it is important at the end of the day that, you know, we do, you know, hit that target at some point in our life. Like, we will
I've seen the argument of like a similar example, like, oh yeah, would you rather have the Bears make the playoffs, but you're still kind of questioning Caleb, or the Bears miss the playoffs, but like Caleb does great.
Right.
And the amount of people that are still like, I just want Caleb to do great. Like, no, the team needs to be good.
Yeah. Okay? We just want to see us competitive.
The team needs to be good. This is too good of a roster to not have playoffs be the expectations.
Oh yeah,
Simple
exactly.
The team needs to freaking win.
Yeah, exactly. And it would give us a lot of assurance as well. Like, yeah, winning is important as well, but I do want like from a fan perspective, and we just for us to not go through that whole, you know, shebang of like, oh, who do we draft next as our quarterback, or do we go out and get a quarterback? No, I really do hope, like, and I feel like he will, like, Caleb will be our guy for the future, because he, under all that he went through last year, like, he put out good stats.
Dude, I mean, the way people act like it, you would think it was the worst rookie season of all time.
Yeah, and Justin Fields,
not even close.
Yeah, like Justin Fields at his like best in like, what was that season in 2022 when he rushed for an insane
Caleb
amount?
was better than him.
Yeah,
I mean, Caleb last year had the best quarterback season any Bears quarterback has had since like Cutler in 2015.
Right, exactly. And that's just the thing. Like, he was 5th all time. Now he's like 5th all time in terms of a passer, like in terms of passing yards. I mean, it means nothing because it's like such a low bar to cross. But at the same time, like, Caleb did that in his first year, like under so much insanity that was going on in the season. Yeah. So I completely agree. It's like, winning does matter. And I think Caleb, at the end of the day, wants to win. He showed so much like emotion at the end when he was like he won against the Green Bay Packers, and the amount of times where he, like especially in that Washington Commanders game, he took them down when they needed him the most. He called the plays, he went down the field, got us a touchdown, and obviously it was out of his control because it was a defensive breakdown of the century, and stuff like that shows you that he can be someone really good for us, and he can eventually take us to the promised land down the line.
I think the one thing that like, and that's another part of it is he's said the right things, he's done the right things.
Mhm.
His, just everything mental has been great.
Right.
The only thing I would say for last year, I kind of wish at times he would have been a bit more like aggressive in the screw you, I'm gonna do what I think is best kind of way.
Mhm.
Granted, you're not gonna do that when you're a rookie though,
Yeah.
understandably. But like for example, the Thanksgiving game, like Caleb should have called a timeout. Now
He should have, yeah.
obviously, his answer of I'm a rookie, I'm gonna let the head coach, call. Like it was the final timeout, right? I'm not gonna call the final timeout. I'm gonna let the head coach have that responsibility. That is a fair answer. That is a
Mhm.
very fair answer. It's also fair to be like, that dude's a freaking idiot. Call the timeout.
Right.
Like so. I feel there was moments last year when I was just like, you know what, dude? Like you're better than that.
Yeah.
Like these guys are stupid. Just
Mhm.
I don't care. Just figure it out. Do something, whatever. Change it, right?
Exactly.
Have the intuition, whatever you want to call it.
Mhm.
Granted, I don't think that's going to apply to this year at all, because I freaking hope not.
I hope not. Yeah.
But so like that side of it, I don't think will really apply for this
Mhm.
year. But that's like the one criticism complaint that I would have is him just being a little bit too timid in accepting the stupidity around him at times.
Yeah.
Other than that, though, I mean, all the circumstances, he was pretty good.
Oh yeah.
He was pretty
Oh
good.
yeah. Like that one pass, like jump pass to
Oh,
Swift.
to Swift? Yeah.
Oh, dude.
Dime.
Dude. And then listen, yeah, he has to definitely work on his deep ball for sure. Like that's a given. I think he probably has by now at this point. But you saw the stuff that makes him a good quarterback. And I'm really looking forward to him and how he plays, because now he has Rome and him for year two, him and DJ Moore again. Um, Obviously no Keenan Allen this time, but you have Luther Burden as well. Eliminate Zacchaeus.
I
A
love
very
Zacchaeus, dude.
when I saw
I'm
that
telling you
trade,
right now. I'm
yeah,
telling you right now. If any of you haven't done your fantasy draft yet, I am having mine tomorrow morning.
oh yeah,
Let me tell you, a fantastic late round grab, Zacchaeus.
mm-hmm.
Okay, I'm telling you right. He was like, no joke. He was one of my favorite guys to bet on last year with Washington.
Really?
And I probably placed like a first touchdown Zacchaeus bet every freaking week.
Oh shoot!
Like he is, and it's been like this for a while. Even when back in Atlanta, like he has been so like, I'm trying to think of like another athlete like comparison in a different sport.
It's like underrated, like under the radar.
Yeah,
type.
like in basketball. What's like, think of like your sixth man of the year type of
like
guys.
a Lou Will, like a
yes, like a Lou Williams.
Lou Will,
yes.
yeah.
He is that. He is like one of the top tier role player guys in the league. He's genuinely so good. And if anything that I've seen and paid attention to throughout camp, Ben Johnson is going to get the ball in his hands. Now, granted, Luther Burden might kind of start to replace Zacchaeus in that role as the season develops, but especially early on, Zacchaeus has the trust. He's the veteran.
Oh yeah.
and he can play. He can play in the slot. He can be outside. It doesn't really matter. He can do everything.
Mm-hmm.
They're going to rely on him, especially early on, because he's trustworthy.
Oh yeah.
And I'm telling you, like to me, he's the clear wide receiver 3 right
Mm-hmm.
now. Burden probably can be that by the end of the year, but at least at the start, he's the clear wide receiver 3. He's going to get the ball in his hands.
Oh yeah,
Love
exactly.
Love him. Love Zacchaeus.
Especially with the the first touchdown for Caleb to be Zacchaeus. Like,
Oh yeah.
I was at that game too, and I saw that like, it was beautiful. It was like it was so fun to watch because it was just like the fact that he can like get in space, break tackles, and still like find the angle to get into the end zones. Because he on the Commanders, he did really well, and the fact that we only paid like 1.5 million.
So cheap.
I'm
So
like
cheap.
when I saw that deal, yeah, like it's like Ryan Poles.
Again, that was one of my favorite signings of the entire offseason.
Me
if
too.
Not my favorite.
Yeah, because I was just like, yeah, it was just like adding it's not really the best term, but it's like a Swiss Army knife in a sense where it's like,
oh yeah,
you can like rely on this dude. Like, say you just need a chunk play, just give him the ball like in space, and you're good to go. Like
that's part of the reason why, like at the time when we drafted Burden, I wasn't really that high on it, just because we also had just signed Zacchaeus,
right?
And I was very, very confident and high on him being the wide receiver 3. Now, granted, on that point, Burden has definitely been more impressive than I expected.
Right.
But still would have rather had a running back, but it's fine.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. But yeah, I mean, I think we can go to the next. Actually, one last thing. Actually, no, we actually talked about that. Yeah, we talked about left tackle. What's the biggest concern for you? Is it left tackle, or you kind of answered that, or edge rusher?
Yeah, I mean, I know people. The left tackle spot is pretty much like the common answer. I don't like pass rush is those are the two, right? And the pass rush I agree with. That I am worried about. Left tackle I'm not nearly as worried about as other people. The outside other concerns, Brisker's interesting.
Yeah,
I'm a little worried about Brisker.
Mm-hmm.
I'm also like. I'm higher on DeAndre Swift than probably the majority of people.
I like DeAndre Swift.
I think DeAndre Swift is very good.
Yeah.
I think last year he was set up for failure.
Mm-hmm.
And even with how bad everything was last year, he still finished with about 950 rushing yards, tacked on like 400 receiving. And everything about like DeAndre Swift, like the reason why he was so good in Philly and previously with Detroit is he is good when your offensive line wins at the line of scrimmage and he can make guys miss in space.
Mm-hmm.
But you have to win that initial line of scrimmage. If you give him a yard or two of a hole, he's going to make a linebacker miss and turn that into a 10, 12-yard game, whatever. That is where he's successful at. Obviously, in Philly, well, yeah, their offensive line pretty much wins every freaking snap, every time. With the Bears last year, you signed a guy for $8 million a year in DeAndre Swift when you knew your interior was going to suck. Everybody knew that. Everyone with eyes could have been like, Coleman Shelton, Ryan Bates. That's going to be interesting, fellas.
Was it Nate Davis last year, or was that the year prior? I forget. It's starting to mesh together.
Yes, that was last year.
I know Claypool was in 2023. Yeah. And then...
I think Nate Davis last year, yeah.
Okay, that's what I thought too. Okay.
So, again, throw Nate Davis in there, right? Everyone knew the interior was going to suck. The offensive line is not going to win at the line of scrimmage. You guys are going to be met with contact at the line pretty much every single snap. And that is not DeAndre Swift's game. He's not the guy that's going to meet a linebacker at the line of scrimmage and fight for 3-4 yards. That's not him. Mm-hmm. And that's what you were setting him up to do, which makes no sense in any capacity, right? This year, however, that's very different. And obviously you have the experience with Ben Johnson, previously in Detroit, blah, blah, blah. So I'm very high on DeAndre Swift. Problem, though, outside of DeAndre Swift, don't like it.
Really?
I don't like it. I'm kind of over Roschon Johnson.
Fair.
If Roschon Johnson is your RB2, that's a problem. Kyle Monangai, we do this every year. Everyone gets excited about the 7th-round running back that a team drafts, and they think he's going to be great.
Next Bucky Irving, man.
Monangai being, you know, a 7th-round pick from Rutgers like Pacheco, everyone's like, oh my God, it's going to happen again. No, it's not. Probably not going to happen.
Fair.
Okay.
Fair.
I'm not trying to, you know, be like Kyle Monangai sucks or something, but people acting like, you know, the amount of times I've seen people say Kyle Monangai is going to be the RB1 by like week 6, that is just absurd to me. That is unbelievably absurd. And so like Roshan and Kyle Monangai, and then you have Travis Homer, who probably should be arrested for war crimes at this point.
At this point, yeah.
I like, if DeAndre Swift were to have an injury or something,
oh yeah,
chalk it up. I don't know. You're gonna have to bring somebody in.
Yeah.
DeAndre Swift, though, I'm high on. So as long as he can stay healthy, we're good. If we can't rely on DeAndre Swift, yikers. Now, I do think you're probably going to see DJ Moore probably at least 6 to 10 snaps every game out of the backfield.
Yeah.
Don't be shocked to see that either. Probably Luther Burden get back there too.
Exactly. But, yeah,
the RB room depth, not great. Pass rush, a lot of concerns. I think this year is going to be very, this year is really going to dictate whether, like, how good or bad that Montez Sweat trade contract is.
Oh, yeah.
Because Montez Sweat should be better. He should have the opportunity to be, like we said earlier, he should have more opportunities for one-on-ones because teams are going to have to respect the interior more. They're going to have to, you know, plan for that schematically. They're going to have to, you know, not be able to double team as much on Montez Sweat. They're going to have to respect other things. And so he should have more opportunities for one-on-ones. He should have more opportunities to get pressure and get sacks. And if he's not good, it's like this year is really going to tell you how good or bad that trade was. And then, I mean, I think the other guy that I'm kind of 50-50 on, we'll see how this year goes, is Tyreek Stevenson.
True.
But, I mean, Jalen Johnson and Kyler Gordon are fantastic. Not worried about them in the slightest. Kyler Gordon's, love him.
The fact that we got it for that deal, too. Yeah, the deal as well.
Dennis Allen's going to love Kyler Gordon.
Oh, yeah. He's going to be so
But, yeah, I probably say my hottest Bears take for the season by the end of the year, Rome Odunze is your wide receiver 4.
Whoa, that's a hot take. Why? Oh yeah, because
I think Zacchaeus is going to be more productive. And then
DJ Moore.
You already have DJ Moore. Yeah, and then Colston Loveland. I know Colston Loveland's a tight end, but like in terms of just total receiving throughout the season.
Oh, okay.
I think Rome will probably be like the 4th best on the team.
I think in terms of statistics, I think that's a good point because it's like the amount of depth that we have.
I also wouldn't be shocked if Burden jumped Rome by the end of the year, though, either.
Really?
That would entirely shock me.
Yeah. The thing is, that's the thing about having depth in the wide receiver room because you don't know who is going to like be the main target at that point. It's not even about the contract. It's not about where you got drafted either. And I think for me specifically, I think Rome will get a good amount of touchdowns. And I think he won't get a decent amount of yards. I think he'll be more of a red zone threat more than a deep ball threat. Even though we saw last year, we saw a lot of deep balls to Rome Odunze, especially with him and Caleb getting that connection going. I just think to put him at 4th is a little bit too low for me. That's just me. I think it would probably still be like either fighting between 2 and 3 because of how much depth that we have on this roster. I think DJ Moore will get, you know, his fair share of targets. Yeah, and given that he's also very versatile in the backfield as well, with getting the yards after the catch, yards after the carry as well, like stuff like that is gonna definitely make him like still the wide receiver 1 by the end of this year. But you know, that's the great thing about having depth.
I know people are very high on Roman Dunze, and you know, he's speaking of fantasy and stuff like that, he's a very popular like boom pick and stuff like that. And like, I know a part of me is salty because I wanted Brock Bowers,
Me
and
too.
The Bears
Yeah.
should have drafted Brock Bowers. He is obviously a better player than Rome. I don't care that it's two different positions. I genuinely could not care less. Brock Bowers was the best player in the draft, and like regardless of position. And I don't really care, especially in the top 10. I don't care what your roster looks like. When a guy like Brock Bowers is on the board, you take him and you figure out the rest later. Okay.
Right.
And so I will always be salty about that. And then obviously taking Colson Loveland the following year in a top 10 with it being the tight end just kind of adds to it. And that's not really against Colson Loveland. It's just the philosophy. But it's not that I think Rome is bad. It's just for a top 10 pick, like, you know, he's got a good frame. He's got the size. And I wouldn't say he's a great route runner, but it's certainly not a weakness. He's not bad by any means. Probably like his, what was supposed to be his strength coming out of college in Washington was his hands.
Right.
Strong catches, 50-50 balls, that kind of thing. And I just haven't seen enough.
Yeah.
I didn't see enough of it last year for it being a top 10 pick. There were just too many times where I was just like, catch the damn ball. Right. I'm not saying it's easy. They're not easy catches, but you're a top 10 pick. Make a play for your quarterback. And maybe that was just me being a fan and me being like, dude, Caleb is running for his life. Can you please just give him a bone? Make a catch for him or something, right? Again, I'm not saying that he was bad, but you like to see a bit more in that aspect as a top 10 pick. And like, I thought Keenan Allen was by far the best wide receiver on the Bears last year. And the most consistent and the most reliable. And that shouldn't happen.
Yeah.
Like a 30-plus-year-old Keenan Allen should not have been the most reliable target last year.
Yeah. I was okay, actually, with bringing him.
I don't care that Roman was a rookie.
Right.
And DJ Moore was acting like a little bitch half the time.
Yeah.
I'm hoping that ends.
Yeah, I hope so.
So.
But I really, really, like, even especially after, before the draft, I really wanted them to bring back Keenan. I know it's not going to be like the most popular decision but I just like the continuity's sake. I didn't know that they were end up going to draft Luther Burden. So I guess it made sense why they got, moved off of him and he went back to the Chargers, which, for a 1-year vacation away from Chargers, that's kind of a weird place to go. Yeah, he definitely has a lot of stories to tell Justin Herbert about like his time here for sure. But I really wish that he stayed, but now it's kind of like, oh, I guess not, because the safety blanket is a good thing to have, and that continuity that you build is something that I really appreciate when it comes to building a roster, especially with your rookie quarterback going into year 2. But I think overall, like, the wide receiver room is going to be a big question. I'm sorry, not a big question. A big, like, thing that we have to really look for.
It's the strength of the team.
Big strength.
100%. Yeah.
Yeah, and when have we ever seen that in Chicago Bears history?
It's been some time.
Marshall,
man. I mean,
like,
you had years of,
Byron Pringle.
Yeah, Byron Pringle and,
Dante Pettis.
St. Brown lining up as your shout out to Equinemius St. Brown. Good blocker, but you got guys like that lining up as your one, and there were some brutal years there, man.
Oh yeah, 100%. Yeah, it was like, oh, Doggo, nice. What's his name?
What's up, buddy? Oh, this is Winter.
Oh, Winter, what's up? What's up? Welcome to the SoBackSports podcast. But let's move on to the last segment. I know it's over an hour, but we had some great conversations, so I just didn't want it to end.
Oh,
but
no, yeah, you're good, man.
I mean, I want to do some record predictions for the Chicago Bears. I want your takes on that. Let me get that set for the chat. Hold on. This is the part of StreamYard that I'm not a huge fan of.
Oh yeah,
because it's like always, because unless you like buy the full version, like extremely full version, then it's like you can
Yeah.
do like so much more, but then I have to like manually like go in and just like increase the spacing or whatever. But anyways, we have the schedule here. Starting out week 1 in a couple of days or a week or so. Who you got?
I think the Bears win against
Bears
the
win?
Vikings. I think that I think the Bears are in a fortunate spot where, obviously Jordan Addison's going to be out. It sounds like Justin Jefferson won't be playing either. And that's part of the reason why they went and got Adam Thielen. Ben Johnson with Detroit he has a history being very good against Brian Flores. Obviously, Lions got a good roster, all those kind of things. But schematically, he was very good against the Vikings and Brian Flores and that defense. And so JJ McCarthy playing his first game. Week 1's always kind of wonky. I like the Bears.
Me too. I think that it's going to be a relatively close game in my book. Because it's going to be a division game in week 1, like you said, going to be really weird. It's going to be one of those. It's like week 1 literally had last year the Bengals losing to the Patriots.
Oh, dude, I still remember it was I forget how many years ago it was, but the Saints beating the Packers with Aaron Rodgers like 30.
Oh yeah, that was like 2 years ago.
Week 1 can be just bonkers.
Jameis Winston legacy game, loved it.
A lot of crazy stuff can happen.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if the Bears take this. And even like the NFL like YouTube channel also had like a 50-50 split, which is very rare nowadays. Especially in that panel with so many people like down on the Bears except for Adam Rank and all like Adam Rank.
Shout out Adam Rank, man.
Yeah, I don't think he's ever picked against us, even when we were like absolutely in the dumpster. You gotta have some level of you have to have some respect for him. And yeah, I mean, all right, moving on to the next matchup, week 2 away at Ford Field. Ben Johnson goes back to Detroit. Oh man, there's a lot of taking the Bears.
Yeah, I'm taking the Bears because two things. One, I mean, just for the Lions in general, I have the Lions missing the playoffs. And it's mainly because I think they're just going to have too slow of a start. And the NFC North is best division of football. The NFC in general as a conference is very deep. And there's going to be growing pains without Ben Johnson. Like Jared Goff lost Ben Johnson and Frank Ragnow. All-Pro center. I think people forget about that Frank Ragnow retired.
Skipper's not even on the team anymore.
Yeah. He got cut. And so you have significant offensive line changes, obviously significant play caller changes. And also I think there's like, this might sound weird, but to me, switching from a different system entirely is way different than having the same system but a different play caller. Because when you switch, because I know people can argue well, yeah, the Lions lost their staff, but obviously the Bears are, with Ben Johnson, they're their first year under a new system, whatever. Like you can make the same type of argument, but a lot of Lions fans will argue that it's Dan Campbell's system, but Ben Johnson was like the caller, the decision maker, whatever on offense. Gotcha. And when you have when you go from the same system to a new play caller, that can breed tension between the players when this new decision maker, when things aren't going well, because then you have players that are like, okay, well, we were doing this before, making these decisions before, and we were having success, and now we're not doing these things, and now it's not successful. That it can just breed disagreements, breed contempt, breed all those kind of things. When something is new entirely, you're not comparing it to what you had before. You're not comparing it to the success that you had before because it's not relevant, right? And so I think the Lions are just in a position where they're going to have a slower start. The roster's still great. They're still going to be a good team. I still have them winning 10 games.
Yeah.
But the NFC North is just that good. The NFC just as a conference is that good. And I think Ben Johnson is obviously going to have some things up his sleeve for this game. And I think this is mainly a benefit of the Bears playing them early more than anything.
Fair enough. I mean, yeah, that's the thing about the whole switch from, a new staff, because that's what can make or break teams. Because if you don't, like you said, if you aren't on the same page necessarily, it can breed contempt. It can, you know, cause a lot of dysfunction within the offense, especially with Jared Goff being so used to for so many years. Having Ben Johnson to be the guy that can kind of help him with this offense. And this is going to be the first year in Detroit, I'm pretty sure, where he has not had Ben Johnson. So that's definitely something that's going to be very huge for him, because he's been with two great play callers, Sean McVay and Ben Johnson.
It's
and near the tail end of the tail end of the Rams season, or like what his tenure with the Rams, it wasn't great either, even with the play caller like Sean McVay. And granted, he was injury prone here and there, but then again, he did make a lot of bad mistakes in LA. So, and that's what kind of allowed him to get traded and eventually get to a Super Bowl with them. Oh, he's returned.
Yeah, it was good, man. My bad for joining late.
Yeah, no problem. We're just going into the last segment of the pod. Okay. But yeah, Ryan, this is my brother Ankit. He's the co-host of the SoBackSports podcast.
Nice to meet you, brother.
What's good, man? What's good? Nice to meet you.
Yeah. Now the big matchup, the Matt Eberflus game, coming back to Soldier Field.
Yeah, I have the Cowboys in this one.
Ooh.
I think this is gonna be the early tester, the early disappointment game for the Bears fans. People, this is gonna be the game on Twitter early on in the season that the following week is everything is the sky is falling.
Oh yeah.
I also think the Cowboys are a better team than people are giving them credit for. Dak Prescott is a very, very good regular season quarterback. Now, obviously, when you get to the playoffs, yeah, it's a different conversation. But Dak Prescott cooks in the regular season, okay? You have CeeDee Lamb, you have Pickens. The offense is still going to be very good. And, yeah, they just lost Micah Parsons. I don't really care. Again, it kind of the same argument for the Packers. The needle doesn't really move very much for me. For example, I'm taking the Cowboys +7 first week against the Eagles.
Wow.
So, I think the Cowboys are a better team than people give them credit for. I think that is that game, week 3, is a perfect setup for a letdown week.
You got Cowboys week 1 winning, or I don't know how +7.
No, I'm just taking the spread. So just spread, to cover a touchdown.
Okay. Forgot how spreads work.
Yeah, I think that's the Cowboys winning that game. I think is that's the early letdown game.
Oh yeah, I can see that too, because there's a lot of weird games that you will go to, or you'll see, and it's like a game that you should win on paper.
Oh yeah.
You somehow just don't. It's like one of those crappy weird games, and I think that's I can see that, but I really hope not, because ideally, I want us to kick Matt Eberflus's teeth in at this point.
I got winning that game easily.
Yeah, I do too.
Wait, you guys beating the Lions? Oh, that's interesting. That's a good win, actually. I don't know. That's a good win against Ben Johnson. I'm sorry, against Dan Campbell. That's Ben Johnson versus Dan Campbell. That's interesting.
Yeah. For the following game, the Raiders.
So this is another sneaky, kind of set up to be a letdown game.
Mm-hmm.
I have the Bears winning it, but very close. Very close. This might be a very gross 20-17 something like that game. There's some people that are having the Raiders make the playoffs. I think that's absurd.
Nick Wright.
Yeah. That's delusional to me. The Raiders are going to be better though. Geno Smith is good. Geno Smith is much better than people give him credit for. he also was making Geno Smith was making Seattle and more specifically their offensive line look much better than they actually are.
Exactly.
And like Pete Carroll, Geno, adding Genty, Brock Bowers is his god. And like they're going to be a better team. The roster still isn't there though for them to actually like be a playoff team, but they're going to be and they're also obviously in a very tough division. The record is probably it's not going to be as good as the team is playing.
Mm-hmm.
Like they're going to be a very, very competitive 5-6 win team.
Okay.
Probably, losing games by single possession, those kind of things. I have that one as a very close, gross win going into the bye week.
Wait, my only question with the Raiders is their secondary. I think their secondary is very suspect, in my opinion. They did lose.
The defense is terrible.
Yeah.
Both lines are terrible.
Yeah.
Like the roster just isn't good enough yet. It's not there.
No, it's kind of ironic that Nick Wright is really rooting for the Raiders when he's a Chiefs fan. It's kind of like it's ironic. Like,
yeah, Nick. I like Nick.
No, I do.
Yeah, I do. His Chiefs bias gets a bit.
I like his Caleb
at
thing.
times, but
he loves Caleb. He loves Caleb.
He does.
He puts us on the map.
And he's actually not an idiot when it comes to Caleb.
Yeah.
He's one of the very few in national media that isn't ridiculous when it comes to Caleb.
Colin Coward.
Yeah. I mean, he flip flops. He works at IHOP. He flips pancakes.
The other guy, the other guy's name, like what? McIntyre, the guy who.
Oh, dude, don't even get me started
Jason
with that guy.
McIntyre is like, he is seriously the worst in national sports.
Dude,
he is awful.
Bad.
Like, bro thinks that he would get that Caleb is going to get benched. Like,
yeah, like you got like this year. What was it? What was it earlier this week? He was like, "Is Caleb Williams loved in Chicago?
Bro,
like, is he getting the love? Because Jackson Dart is getting the love in New York. Like, is Caleb Williams getting loved like Jackson Dart is? And it's like, dude, what the hell are you talking about?
He's just speaking.
Saying?
It's just yapping, bro.
I
at
don't
this point.
understand.
Like, the rent cannot be that high for you
Seriously.
to talk about Jackson Dart in the same sentence as Caleb Williams. Like, oh man, and the thing is, like, I'm not like indulging myself. It just happens to be on the feed. It got to a point where I'm like, I blocked the Colin Cowherd takes because I cannot stand it because it's just pure rage bait at that point, and I just couldn't take it. But anyways, moving on to the next game, another big matchup.
Yeah, I look, man. This is very simple to me. I got the Bears beating Washington.
Yes,
the
good answer.
Jaden Daniels fall off is going to be magnificent.
Yes,
cinema. Like,
and I'm very much looking forward to that win.
Oh, me too. We should have won the last time.
Very looking forward to
I
that.
Loki had the same I have the same order as you. I said I have the flip flop. I have the Lions. We losing to the Lions and we beating the Cowboys, but. Yeah, I like it so far. I like it.
Yeah. And this is the game. And then that following week, my brother and I are going to the Saints at Bears.
Yeah, Bears win. The Saints aren't a real football team, so.
I mean, listen.
I think there is out of all the teams, like over the last 10, 15 years, this Saints team has by far the best chance to go 0-17 than we've had in 10, 15 years.
Oh yeah, and
there is a legitimate chance that this team goes 0-17.
Right, yeah. and Ryan, let me give you some context of why this game also means a lot to us, because we have gone so far to, I think in our lifetime we've only gone to three regular season Bears games. We were supposed to go to 4, 2 last year actually, but because of how badly the Patriots game went, we decided to sell our Packers tickets, and thank God we did. So far, we are currently 0-3 right now in regular season. But for some reason, I guess we are preseason merchants, because every preseason game I've gone to, we won.
I mean, the Bears have cooked in the preseason for quite some time now.
Yeah.
Honestly. They've been really good.
Preseason.
Yeah. I don't get it. Like, But so that's why, like,
We have
this
to win that
time,
game.
like,
Yeah.
even that was supposed to be last year with the Patriots. It's like we were like, oh, like, yeah, okay, fine. Drake May, they have some pieces here and there, but like, we should beat them at this point. But,
That was such a bad game.
oh my god, that game like made me question everything. Like,
So
it
bad.
genuinely did. But yeah, I mean, I agree here. I think that the Bears should win this game. I feel like the fact that they drafted Tyler Shuck and what's that guy's name? Spencer Rattler.
Dude, Spencer Rattler's a starter, man.
Yeah.
I mean, this is just
Caleb Williams versus Spencer Rattler. Yeah, it's.
Oh wait, that's actually like heat. That's actually heat because Caleb took his job.
Yeah, true. That did happen.
True.
That is true.
True.
Yeah.
But I think by then, like Tyler Shaw might be starting though. I don't know.
Yeah, he could, but you never
He
know.
could. They're still gonna suck.
Yeah.
I still don't understand why like the Saints to this day took him over Shador. I don't know.
I mean, Shador's terrible too, but
Yeah.
Really? Like if you don't like Shador?
No. Shador's bad.
I think okay, but he at least has like some like he has a chance to be a starter in the league. I feel like
No.
I don't think Shuck it's like he's so old and like he's like
Tyler
what,
Shuck doesn't have a chance to be a starter in the league, but neither does Shador. Let's be real.
Yeah.
Shador is like when I watch Shador, I see a lot of Justin Fields actually, in terms of pocket presence, awareness. Like when I watch those preseason games, it's like watching Justin Fields. He keeps on stepping back, even when there's good protection. He's allergic to stepping up into a pocket like Justin Fields was. The difference though between him and Justin Fields is that Justin Fields is an actual athlete. And he can escape and bail himself out of mistakes a decent amount of the time. Shador does not have that capability. And so he just gets sacked.
Wait, yo, I have a question. You mentioned Justin Fields. Like, what do you think? Like this season, like, do you think he'll be good with the Jets? Or
No, the Jets are going to be terrible.
really? You
Yeah.
think he'll play good? Like with the Aaron Glenn and like
No.
Tanner? No, you know.
I mean, define good.
Like you think he'll have like a solid season? Like he'll pass. Like he'll improve like his numbers and like have like solid. Like
I
connection with Garrett
mean,
Wilson.
improving his numbers, maybe, but is he going to be a starter beyond this year? No.
Really?
No, it'll be one and done. The Jets will draft a quarterback next season, and that'll be that.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, it's I mean, obviously for I guess for us, it was like we'll definitely root for him at least. I mean, at this point, I'm kind of tired of talking about.
Dude, Justin, great guy.
Yeah, great person. Like
great guy. He did everything right, said everything right, all of those things. Unfortunately, he's just not very good at playing quarterback.
Dude,
it's just
I think he could be good this year, man. Like I don't know, I'm pretty positive on him this year. I think he could be like solid for the Jets. I think they have a really good run game, and I think that Garrett Wilson is like he makes quarterbacks better, like with like his great catching ability. I feel like this year, I think this could be the year for him, bro. Like I feel like he has a great chance, like in New York. But
unfortunately, we've been saying that for like every year.
But like, okay, but let's be honest though, with the Steelers, like with the Steelers, like they pulled the plug after like 4-2, and like he was playing, like he did improve his numbers, like completion percentage wise, even passer rating too. He's been improving every year. So like, I just hope that like this year, like he plays well with the Jets with a new system.
Don't get me wrong. I hope he plays well. Mm-hmm. I'm rooting for him, but it's not going to go well. I have the Jets going like 4-13.
Fair enough. Yeah. All right, let's get on with the rest of the things. We have two tough matchups.
Yeah, this is a loss.
Yeah.
There's really not much to say.
Yeah.
The Ravens are, the Ravens are the Ravens, man. Their roster is still ridiculous.
Yeah.
There's no like the conversation around the Ravens is just simply whether they win the playoffs or not. They're going to win probably 13, 14 games. They could do that with their eyes closed. It's not going to be like what all I hope for in this game is it's competitive, and the Bears look like they belong playing in a
Mhm.
game against the Ravens. But that's a loss. That's
Yeah. I see that too. I mean, I really like from a personal perspective, I really hope we somehow scrape like this is like one of the losses that the Ravens regret at some point. I hope it's some kind of like
Oh,
really bad win.
this is, if you're looking at the Ravens for a team like, those teams, you're all the guys that you expect to be in the playoffs and all that, like a team like the Bears, that is a prime letdown game,
Yeah.
opportunity.
No, yeah. And the thing is, the main reason it's like this. Listen, if it were any other team like that were like the Chiefs and stuff like that, okay, fine. Like I chalk it up. I really hope we play well and we somehow scrape a win just for the sole purpose of one of my good friends is a massive Lamar Jackson and Ravens fan.
Yeah.
And the amount of ammo I can have against them for the next couple of years.
Delusional. He's so delusional too, bro.
No. I mean, it's kind of fair to be fair. They have a good roster.
I'd probably be delusional if I was
I would be too.
If my team was winning 14
No, but
games.
dude, he thinks like Lamar, like even though he chokes in the playoffs every year, he thinks like Lamar's the best quarterback in the league. Like I don't even.
I mean, it's fair. I would think that too if that were the case.
I probably would think it too if I was a Ravens
bro.
fan.
Yeah. Oh, dude, this is my take. I've been saying for a while. I think Lamar is like Dak with MVPs. A great regular season quarterback, ass in the playoffs.
Yeah, I think like going back to last year, like yes, Mark Andrews should have caught the ball, but Lamar was terrible in that game.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Like you can harp on Mark Andrews all you want, but they really shouldn't have been in that position in the first place for Mark Andrews to have to catch that ball.
Yeah.
And like his numbers were absurd. Shout out Lamar because I had him on my fantasy team last year. But I mean, yeah, there's no scenario in which I'm taking him over like Josh Allen and Joe Burrow. Just that's not happening.
Yeah, fair enough. Speaking of Joe Burrow, we're facing him away.
Yeah, this is also a loss.
Also a loss as well.
I was that defense
is just I think this is a tough time for the Bears to face Cincinnati, coming off of a loss in Baltimore.
That's true.
Joe Burrow is just too good. That offense is just too good. And given the fact that the pass rush of the Bears is the concern, getting pressure on Joe Burrow is the only chance you have.
Yeah.
And the Bears are not going to win a shootout against Joe Burrow.
Yeah.
I'll believe that when I see it. Until then, yeah, I'm taking Joe Burrow.
That's completely fair. I think out of the two, I think the best chance we have to win is definitely the Bengals. But I do think that they'll have I think we're more likely to lose this game than win. I do think that from a perspective of their defense, I think we can definitely take advantage of that. I mean, they have Trey Hendrickson, fine. That's all fine and dandy. But, I think that Ben Johnson has unique of an offense to kind of circumvent that and make it at least somewhat competitive. But sure. I mean, I think it all depends on if we can put up a fight against Joe Burrow and that offense, because that offense is absolutely filthy as well. I mean, their run game is a little bit questionable, but then again, they have Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase. What more can you really ask for? Yeah.
I'm taking the over in that game.
Oh yeah,
that's for sure.
Oh yeah,
the
easy.
Line is, I don't really care. There's gonna be 70 points scored in that game.
Oh yeah, dude. That's the most entertaining type of games. At least no defense, no just pure, just go for it. Just Madden ball.
Cooking, man.
Just Madden ball it. Everyone goes for it on fourth down. Just go aggressive. Week 10, back at home against the Giants.
Yeah, this is the bounce back game. Have them beating the Giants. The Giants are gonna suck.
Yeah.
The roster isn't very good. I don't know. I mean, by week 10, maybe you have Jackson Dart playing.
They look
instead of Russ.
Loki can be 50.
I know their defense is going to be pretty solid, especially the pass rush.
Yeah,
Unfortunately, you have to
defense.
score points in order to actually win football games, though.
Come on, man. You
I mean,
mean
they-
tell me that how did the 98-85 Bears? I'm kidding.
Oh, no, but like,
Yeah.
like they low-key could be like the Steelers, like in the AFC, you know, like in the NFC, like where they have like an elite defense, and then like
I don't think they're elite though. That's the thing.
Dude,
It's
their
not
defensive
elite.
line, their defensive line's crazy, bro.
But
The
their
best-
The
secondary.
defensive line is crazy, but their offense needs to be able to sustain drives. And
Right.
They're not going to be able to.
I mean,
And
Neighbors
it's
is
just
that
gonna
guy.
get to a point where they get, they just get gassed. Very similar to the Bears defense last year. They're going to be on the field too much. And, they're just going to be put at a disadvantage
Mhm.
because of how bad the offense is going to be.
Yeah, I see that as well. We're back away on the road on Minnesota at Minnesota.
Yeah, I have this as a loss as well.
I don't. Yeah,
Minnesota's just too good. Kevin O'Connell, I love Kevin O'Connell, man.
me too.
He's such a good coach. And now you're in week 11. JJ McCarthy has some 10 games under his belt. They'll have Jordan Addison back. They'll have Justin Jefferson, Jordan Addison, Adam Thielen, TJ Hawkinson. In the backfield, still have Aaron Jones, Jordan Mason. You still have a Brian Flores offense. I think more about this game is going to be that the Vikings offense is going to be better than what it was in week 1.
Mhm.
And you're in Minnesota, tough place to play.
Yeah.
And so that's a loss.
I forgot how long ago it's been since we. Well, actually, no, we won with Justin Fields. I think that was the last time we won, but it wasn't that long ago. But we just don't do that well in Minnesota for some reason. I don't.
We
understand.
usually split.
We usually split.
A good
That's
amount of
fair.
time we split.
Yeah, I think so too. Steelers. Aaron Rodgers returning.
This is a tough one for me because I do feel like this is a prime letdown game as well. You're gonna have Aaron Rodgers coming back, right? And I don't care. Aaron Rodgers could be in a wheelchair. It doesn't matter. Somehow that dude is beating the Bears. Okay.
Yeah, I don't get it. How does he do it?
This is a really important game though.
Mm-hmm.
In terms of just the trajectory of the season. Because you're then because the following 2 games are going to be very tough.
Oh,
You're going to be going into Philly. You're going to be going into Lambeau. And so that is a game that you really have to win. I'm going to have the Bears winning it. But I think that week 12 game is going to be a very important pivot game on what the rest of the season in terms of playoff picture and whether the Bears are actually in the mix or not. That game's going to be a big one.
Oh yeah. That's a game I really don't want to lose. I'll be real. Cuz this is potential,
man. They win games that they shouldn't be winning all the time.
Right. And the main thing is this could potentially be Rodgers' last season. And
it is his last season.
It's going to be.
It's going to be. But I'm just saying you never know with the guy. This guy's weird.
That's true. It's true.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's slated to be his last game. But the likelihood of us playing him again, to get a second chance,
it's slim to none.
Yeah, pretty much none. That's why
it'd be really nice to beat him the last time
at Soldier Field too. Oh man, and Ben Johnson, for the love of God, Dennis Allen, do something to tackle and sack this guy 80 times. I swear. I need that in my veins right now because ending his career on a loss at Soldier Field would be I think it would just genuinely lift the curse or something like that from us.
It would just be poetic.
Yeah,
it
would be. Yeah. It would free Chicago of hopefully bad juju when it comes to sports. I think it would. Yeah, it would set us forward if anything. But yeah, I really hope we win this. I think it's gonna be a slugfest. This game. It's gonna be one of those high end talent meets high-end talent offense and see what happens. Like just go at it and see what happens. And it's like you said like earlier, where it's going to be like 20 to like 17. I think it's probably going to be somewhere to the range of like 24 to 21, and it's like about a field goal, like something like that. But I really hope we do. Next week it's going to be the Eagles.
Yeah, it's a loss.
It's a loss.
There's
another bird
not
team.
Really much. It's very similar to Baltimore, man. You're going into Philly. The roster is just too ridiculous.
Dude, if we somehow
be 15-2 this year, 16-1, honestly. Obviously barring injuries, but their roster is just too absurd.
Oh yeah, I just can't fathom the thought. Like, imagine us. Like, I know this is delusion, and this is just me thinking out loud. But if we win against Pittsburgh, take down Aaron Rodgers, and then follow it up on Black Friday, going into the Link and stealing this game and being one of the 2 losses for Philly. Oh man.
Well, that would be a win that puts you it puts you on the map.
Yeah.
People, then the Bears start getting talked about in terms of the playoff conversation, like a
national
team
media
to take serious
in
the NFC, dark horse, all those things, right? You go in Philly on Black Friday and win. That's the statement win.
Oh yeah. But yeah, I don't see that happening, unfortunately. But at the same time,
not there. No, we're not there yet.
Not there yet. Yeah, our defense is nowhere near that. But now we move on to Lambeau Field. A place where Caleb is familiar.
Taking the Bears. Caleb owns Lambeau.
Yes, sir. He does own
Lambeau.
Love that. Love that. Yes. Yes, sir.
Simple as that.
Yep. Who's Micah Parsons? Like,
yeah,
who's that guy?
Honestly, kind of washed. Some people
washed. Montez what better?
I heard he has some back issues right now, man. He's having some back problems right now. I don't know.
Hey, but all right. Now we're going home.
Wait, this is a bye week. This is a bye week, bro.
I wouldn't say it's a bye week.
Dude, the Browns suck.
Yeah, the Browns are very bad.
They're very bad, but
honestly, I think the Bears win this game.
Yeah.
The more interesting question is who is playing quarterback
Shador.
in Week 15? Shador's not gonna. Nah,
Gabriel. My guess is Gabriel.
No, because I think what's gonna happen is Flacco's gonna play for 6 games, and Gabriel's gonna play for another 6 games, and then I think it's gonna be Shador. I think
it's we'll just see what happens. I
hope
guess
so, because then it would really be a free win.
Yeah. I could see that. Yeah, and the thing, to be fair, their only good wide receiver is literally Jerry Jeudy, and that's all you have to really say.
He's low-key underrated.
I just hope that Flacco isn't playing, because Flacco scares me.
Oh, dude, Flacco literally, oh my god.
I mean, he'll have a random, 4 touchdown.
No, he's not going to be playing. It's
performance. I just hope he's not in there Week 15.
Yeah, because remember, the last time when we faced the Browns away, Flacco threw 3 interceptions that game. Yeah, then he cooked us.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, granted, it is the Bears defense, and we just threw that game gave them that game essentially, but still.
Darnell Mooney, bro. Darnell Mooney.
Yeah, when Flacco decides when the check doesn't bounce, he'll cook for you. That's what I felt that the Texans game was in the playoffs. I swear the check bounced in the middle of the game after he scored that touchdown, and he's like,
screw this, man.
All right, I'm gonna throw whatever I feel like it. I'm gonna call whatever plays I want to, and this is gonna be Madden ball, all right, now it's at home against Green Bay.
Yeah, this is a win.
We sweep them.
Yeah,
the Bears should have swept season series last year. If it wasn't for a blocked field goal.
The love sucks
on an illegal rush.
Yeah,
on the center.
True.
So
that's true.
Easy season sweep.
I think after the season, we're gonna say everyone's gonna say Caleb's better than Love for sure.
That'd be cinema. That'd be so cinema. Oh my god,
Loki had a better season than last year, man. Loki did.
I mean, yeah, because
he did.
Yeah. Niners away.
Yeah, this is a loss.
Yeah,
Niners are very good, man. I really like Brock Purdy too. and it's still Kyle Shanahan, another regular season merchant. You know, the only thing that you can hope for is like, I mean, if they have Christian McCaffrey, if he's healthy for a season, I mean, they're going to be dominant.
Their schedule's really easy too. Like,
yeah, and I think it's just a tough game to go in and win at. Yeah, that again, there's not really much to say. 49ers a good team.
Yeah, and then to end the season off, I mean, 10-6. This could be playoff implications too.
Yeah, this I have as a win.
Yeah, I think Lions just sit their starters this game.
And primary reason for that is because I think at this point in this, I think there's a good chance that the Lions are out and they don't have much to play for.
Mm-hmm.
Like out of the playoffs or like out like. Wait, what do you mean?
Yeah, out of the playoffs.
Oh, you don't have them. You don't have them winning the division.
No, I have the Vikings win the division.
Really?
Yeah.
Vikings. Okay, that's interesting.
Oh yeah, we were talking about divisions earlier on in the show, and he was mentioning.
Wait, what was your division rankings like?
I have the Vikings winning the division, Bears second, Packers third, Lions fourth.
Okay.
Dang, fall from grace.
I've not heard of the Vikings being number. I've heard like the Packers winning division after the Parsons trade. Actually, I've never heard of the Bears. Actually, no one's really said the Bears.
Yeah, I don't think the Bears win the division. I think it's a year too early, but
yeah, I know.
They'll be competitive for sure.
I mean, maybe a Bears fan will say it, but like obviously, I'm just saying like I have not heard of the Vikings one. That's an interesting one. That's interesting.
I think like I think week 18 you're gonna have. It's gonna be one of those games where you have Bears have something to play for. Ben Johnson against his former team.
Yeah.
All the you're at home. You got all the fan support, energy in the world, meaningful football kind of thing. And I think there's a decent chance that the Lions at that point, even if they won, would still miss the playoffs. And so,
yeah. I mean, 11-6, like that could get you into.
That's where I've had the Bears at. 11-6.
Okay, but here's my thing, right? Like even the Bears last year, we played the Packers and we didn't have like any fighting chance to be in the playoffs, and we still play all our starters. Do you think that the Lions would still like, even if it's like a divisional game, wouldn't they like play their starters still?
I mean, they might play their starters, but it's different though, because it's not the same as like, I mean, you remember when the Lions beat the Packers week 18 a few years ago? The thing is, like, that was before they actually like made the playoffs and were playing for like competing for a Super Bowl.
Yeah,
and like the Bears obviously haven't made the playoffs in years. They're not competing for, or they haven't competed for a Super Bowl. They haven't like made it to a conference championship game or anything like that. And so a game like that means more when you haven't done those things yet. And like for the Lions, when they went on like they won the final like 7-8, or they won 7 or 8 out of the final nine games of the season or whatever. They beat the Packers, kicked them out of the playoffs, all that. That was before they actually got into the playoffs and played those games. And so it was like a statement type of game and win.
Yeah.
But like when you're the Lions, you've been in the playoffs the last couple of years. Like you've been in a position to compete for a Super Bowl. You don't give a shit about this like that kind of stuff anymore. It doesn't mean as much to you.
Okay,
right. That's fair. But yeah, I mean, 11-6, pretty solid record. I mean, I really like this. If this were to play out, like, obviously, I wish we beat the Cowboys. But like, at this point, I wish we win every game, obviously. But like, you have to be realistic.
I think 11-6 is the record. You could probably
switch around the games. Yeah,
you could flop around the game. Like honestly, I wouldn't be shocked if we beat Dallas, start 3-0, then lose to the Raiders.
Yeah.
That wouldn't shock me. You could switch the Lions and the Cowboys, flip those. You could flip. Honestly, you could flip like the Packers and the Niners.
Yeah.
Split against the Packers, win the Niners game.
I'd rather sweep the Packers, in my opinion.
But you know what I mean? Like you could swap a couple of the games, but I think 11-6, like 10-7, 11-6 is where I put them at.
Yeah, fair enough. But yeah, well, that concludes this episode of the SoBackSports podcast. Had some great conversations here today about the Chicago Bears and great predictions. I appreciate Ryan joining us today.
Absolutely,
I really enjoyed
having me.
Yeah, of course. Enjoyed having the conversations with you today. Some interesting perspectives too that I didn't really think about in the beginning. So I'm really glad we had these conversations, and I'm glad my co-host joining us when he could at the end. as well.
I was so early. I was so early.
Oh yeah, so
So
but
early.
yeah, if for those of you who are still watching, appreciate you guys for tuning in today's episode. Always remember to like and subscribe to the channel. Trying to get to 700 subscribers by the end of this month, or going into before the season starts. I know we can get there together. Always follow the socials down below. I'll put Ryan's in the description down below. Has some great content out there for you guys to tune into. And as obviously my co-host as well, so YouTube channel as well. Gentlemen, any final remarks before we call it?
Not much, man. Da Bears.
Da Bears. Well, thanks again for watching. And as always, guys, we'll see you guys in the next one.